Hello. Recently, I've been pretty frustrated with the debugging experience on Visual Studio and pretty much any other debugger, and this is why I've been building DZero. DZero is a game development focused debugger that allows you to inspect your game live instead of setting breakpoints and waiting for things to happen. So we're gonna launch a process here. And this is an open source port of Diablo. I'm gonna enter the game here. And what we're gonna do is in DZero, we're gonna come in to the main game loop, which is here. And for a start, we're gonna check show live execution. And this is gonna show us in live what is currently happening in this function. This while loop is running, and this code isn't running because we're drawing currently the game. So what we can do, for example, is we can modify, for example, this variable to exit this loop. So what I'm gonna do, and because this is a global variable, in a devolution namespace, I'm gonna simply set it to false here. And as you can see, we exited out of the loop. If we enter the game again, we're gonna exit again because this is here. And again, we can see that this function doesn't run anymore because this only runs when you're in the game. Another thing I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna come into another function here, which is the validate player function. This function runs every tick of the game, and we can verify that by simply checking the live execution checkbox. What I wanted to do is I wanted to view my player here, and this is usually what you have in game engines, but normally when you're developing your own engine or using an engine that doesn't have a UI for it, you're left with a very poor experience of viewing your objects. Here we can just place a line here, which is a view call for my player, and what we can see is a live view of our character. And I can simply modify those properties here to enable or disable certain properties. So for example, if I can come here and I can dig into the position of the player, I can simply change my position and end up somewhere other on the map. Now this is of course a little bit wrong here, but you get the idea. This is one of the features. One last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to build a UI for myself to change levels, right? Usually this would be a command in the game, but instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use DZero to make a very quick UI for loading a level. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna make a checkbox here called load, and as you can see we have the load here, and we're gonna check if load is true, and if it is, then we're gonna start new level with the player. The last argument is the actual level index, and what we're gonna do again is we're gonna call this a level, and we're gonna view the level here, and we're gonna pass it here. And so what you can see now is that we have a UI to load levels. So if I come here and just click load, I'm gonna be loaded into the level 0, which is the first one. But I'm gonna change it to the next level, and I'm gonna load into another level. And again, so we can go back to the first one. And the way D0 works is that it allows you to insert these snippets into your code anywhere. And these are actual code that gets executed in your function. But unlike other solutions, this is actually scripting code. This is not native C++. This is an AngelScript scripting language. It understands your functions, your variables, types, and everything else, which is why we're able to call start new level, inspect other variables, and more. It's very fast to compile. You can see that you can't even really see how quickly it compiles. And it also allows you to reference any variable and any class inside the scripting code, because we don't care about the visibility of your members. So if it's private or protected, it does not matter. You can access it anyway. We can also do it the old-fashioned way. We can simply log my player. This is a pointer, so probably we need to dereference it. And as you can see, we get a rich output of the player here every frame. And there is a link in the description to the Discord channel if you'd like to join for more updates on D0. Thanks.